Hi, we're gonna make some solutions for this lab, and in your bag of goodies you have, it's kind of like a trick-or-treat bag. It's Halloween time, and except don't eat any of it and don't throw any of it out, because we reuse stuff. Hopefully you haven't thrown out any of the things that you made that we used in the previous labs, because we might need some of that stuff. Especially the scale. Don't throw that scale out. But all the little things that we have, I prefer if you did not throw those out. Okay, we will need some of it back. So we're gonna make some solutions. You should have done some calculations on what things you need to measure out. So you have a stock solution. This is yours will be labeled 7 micromolar or 7 molar. It doesn't really matter. We're just going to go with, the numbers are what's the most important. And then you should have calculated how many milliliters you need of each one in your solution. So let's say, for instance, you needed to measure out like 2.4 milliliters of stock solution. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a graduated cylinder, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to try to prop it up so it's a little easier to see. So hang on a second. Let's use this box here. So I'll prop this up. You want to make sure that you can see eye level, so that you're measuring the correct values. So the bottom line is 1 milliliter. There are no numbers that go below 1 milliliter, so hopefully you don't need less than a milliliter. If you do, then I would add the water first and then add the rest to the top, because it's got the demarcations for this are every 0.2 milliliters. Okay, so let's say I needed 2.4 milliliters of the stock solution in my thing. So I'm going to take the dropper bottle. You can use, if you want to take this off and do the syringe, you can do that. Or if you just want to use the dropper bottle, you may also do that. I like to use I just like to use the dropper. I'm just going to do this. So we go ahead and put this in here. And this is just food coloring and water, so you don't need goggles or anything for this. I didn't even put goggles in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. Okay. This is 2 milliliters right now. I'm going to get down to eye level. And one more drop. Okay, so what you want to do is make sure, I don't know if you can see that, but if I bring this close, you want the right there. Okay, so that's right at about 2.4. You want, and maybe it's a little lower. Actually, you should add probably another drop in there. Okay, so you want the bottom of the meniscus. So the meniscus, some glass graduated cylinders have a more pronounced meniscus. The meniscus is the thing that goes like this when the water kind of creeps up the edges, and so you might have a little dip like this. The bottom is what you want to look for, and that's got to line up with the whatever line you're looking at. So here I have 2.4, and then you're going to need some water. So normally we'd use distilled water. If you have distilled water, great. Otherwise, tap water will work fine. You have a little cup. Go ahead and put some water in the cup. So you're gonna put some water in there, and you take the pipette. So take one pipette that's saved just for water. You can leave that in the cup like that, and then we're gonna fill the rest up to 10 milliliters. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest in here like this. And I only gave you enough to make your middle solutions first. The first solution is just plain solution. Don't even bother making that because I gave you barely enough. The dropper bottle is filled to the brim. There's just enough to make your solution, so hopefully you don't mess any up. If you do, then I guess you just have to make the other ones, okay? So get it to be exactly 10. Remember, you want the meniscus, the bottom. Get to eye level. Make sure that you're looking at eye level to see if you're lined up okay. And then with your other dropper, so you have another one like this, you're going to use this, a clean one, or whatever one you have as a mixer. So you're going to take it, you're going to go like this, and just pipette it up and down and just put a couple times so that you get it well mixed. And then once you have it mixed, I was gonna have you dump it into something, but I couldn't find enough cups, so we're gonna just use the well plates. So label the well plates, maybe find a sheet of paper that you can put underneath it, and write down which one is which solution. Okay, so you have, some people have these well plates, some of them have the other ones that have all of them, but you want to use the bigger ones, and you're gonna take your solution and you're gonna put some of the solution into one of the wells. So I'm going to put it into, let's say I put in one of these wells like this. Okay? And then you can either discard the rest of the solution, or if you have other cups you want to put them in just to make sure you didn't screw something up, you can do that. But you really don't need, I just want you to, normally we would measure this with a spectrophotometer. We can't measure it. We would use a little cuvette that looks something like this. So this is a cuvette. You would put it in this thing, like, and then there's a clear edge like that. There's an edge with a bunch of ridges on it, and the edges with the ridges, those are the sides that you touch. So you can touch these sides, but this side you can't touch because the light goes through that one. And so you would normally put it into this thing here like this. Okay? And then you put this in a spectrophotometer or a colorimeter, and it measures how much light is passing through that. We can't do that. I can't send home colorimeters because they cost a couple $100 a piece, and I only have 7 of them. So yeah, so that's what you do. And then when you're done, you take your things and you know, if you have just a plain sheet of paper, I should have had a sheet of paper here. If you have a plain sheet of paper, I have a periodic table. You put that underneath like that, and then you can, what you're going to do is eventually go like this, take a picture of it, so it'd be all labeled. So when the thing's all labeled, take a picture of it and send that in with your lab. And that shows me, you should have a, you should see a change in the amount of blue in your solutions if you made your solutions correctly. Okay? So that is the lab. Keep the pipettes. So keep these things because we're going to need them in the next lab. Keep all the stuff. We're going to use the things over again, and then I'll have you send them back, and then we're just going to keep trying to improvise with how to do AP chemistry at home. Okay, have a good one.